Ukraine has claimed that it has captured the village of Robotyne, which they say is a key village on the southern part of the Zaporizhzhia front. Jean Domingo has this report.
Ukraine's push on the Zaporizhzhia front gained ground as it confirmed the capture of Robotyne village, a pivotal move aimed at splitting Russia's defenses to the overland path to Crimea. According to Ukraine, the capture of Robotyne brings their forces closer to Russia's main defense line, guarding routes to the Sea of Azov. Despite modest territorial gains around 4 miles since June, Ukraine's advance has been steady, marked by clearing dense minefields and trenches along the front line. Challenges include open terrain visibility and mine clearance risks. Ukraine's strategy shifted to prioritize mine clearance with specialized units. International aid, including Norway, aims to bolster mine clearing capabilities. U.S. pressure redirected Ukraine's efforts to the southern front for a focused counteroffensive. Ukraine seeks to disrupt the land bridge to Crimea through advances Robotyne and Velika Novosilka. Reporting for Newsline World, this has been Jean Domingo, SMNI News.
Meanwhile, the two heads of state of Russia and Turkey will reportedly hold talks more than a month after the Black Sea grain deal broke down following Russia's refusal to extend it. Sigrid Castañeda reports.
Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan will hold talks with his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin ahead of the 78th UN General Assembly session starting September 19, according to an Ankara political source via Russian media TASS. Both leaders plan to meet by the Assembly's commencement, with the exact timing still under consideration. Key topics on the agenda include finding a peaceful resolution to the Ukraine conflict and assessing a crucial grain deal. Turkish officials have consistently favored the original grain deal, reiterated by Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan in Kyiv. Erdogan and Putin will reportedly explore options to revive the deal in its original form, as well as alternative pathways for grain supply to nations in need. Earlier, TASS reports said that the meeting between Putin and Erdogan will likely take place in Sochi on September 4. However, a Bloomberg report citing Turkish officials hinted at a September 8 visit to Russia. Although the Turkish presidential administration did not comment on the matter, Omar Selik, the ruling Justice and Development Party or AK Party spokesman, confirmed that the meeting will be held in Sochi but did not mention any date. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov, meanwhile, confirmed an upcoming meeting without specifying dates. Reporting this has been Sigrid Castañeda, SMNI News.
In other news, France's ambassador to Niger has rejected an ultimatum by Niamey coup leaders to leave the country after a 48-hour deadline elapsed. More of this report from Margaret Parcasio.
While recognizing the difficult situations faced by France's ambassadors to other countries, French President Emmanuel Macron confirmed in a major speech in Paris on Monday Ambassador Sylvain Itte's decision to stay put in Niger, despite being given a 48-hour deadline on Friday to leave the country. The European Union expressed its full support for Ambassador Sylvain Itte, and President Macron also lauded the French envoy to have made the choice to remain in Niamey. Macron added, and I quote, "I think our policy is the right one. It's based on the courage of President Bazoum and on the commitments of our ambassador on the ground, who is remaining despite all the pressure, despite all the declarations made by the illegitimate authorities. We do not recognize the putschist. We support a president who has not stepped down, and besides, whom remain engaged." End of quote. It can be remembered that Niger's foreign ministry said the French envoy had refused to meet with the new rulers and cited French government actions that were contrary to the interest of Niger. Over the weekend, tens of thousands of pro-coup supporters gathered in Niamey's General Sani Couch Stadium, the largest in the country, as members of the military leadership, the National Council for the Safeguard of the Homeland, held a massive rally to celebrate the first month of the takeover. Footage shows demonstrators holding placards outside a French military base, accusing Paris of interfering in the country's affairs.
On est ici parce qu'on en a marre de la France et de la politique des Noirs qui se cachent derrière le peuple pour nous faire des jeux occidentaux. On en a marre parce qu'on a donné un ultimatum aux Français de quitter notre territoire. Parce qu'ils sont là que pour nous pourrir la vie, pas pour nous aider. Ils sont là de nous piller, prendre nos ressources.
This as France currently has roughly 1,500 troops stationed in Niger as part of a counterinsurgency force in the Sahel region. Meanwhile, locals can also be seen holding Nigerian and Russian flags inside the stadium, while military officials were seen waving to the people in the stands. To recall, the military coup in Niger took place on the 26th of July, replacing democratically elected President Mohamed Bazoum with General Abdurrahmani Chani, who heads the presidential guard. The West African Region Bloc, the Economic Community of West African States, imposed sanctions, and the U.S., the European Union, and other international organizations condemned the actions. This is the fifth coup in Niger since independence from France in 1960 and the seventh military coup to occur in West and Central Africa in 3 years. Currently, ECOWAS has been trying to negotiate with the leaders of the Niger coup and has said it is ready to deploy troops to restore constitutional order if diplomatic efforts fail. This is Margaret Parkasha reporting, SM9 News.